you should ask, what information did he receive from the scene? What information did he receive from the scene where he found it necessary to remove his umbrella man, the man who walked behind him and hold him umbrella every day? Why did he feel it fit to remove his umbrella man name from the condolence? He heard something, user. I don't know your name, but we don't have to come here under fake name. He heard something and he adjusted it. Secondly, back then, one of their fiercest social media warrior came on social media, turned on her live, had hundreds of PMP personnel, and she told them, she confessed that she was at the scene cleaning up blood. In her confession, when me go there, one little bit of blood did it, I just clean it up. At the time, she never knew, so the police knew it was a crime scene because the cover-up was on. Yes, the cover-up was on, but she never knew, so she had come on social media, come confess to being part of a crime. And I understand the police are still waiting to talk to her, so you can hide over Uncle someplace all you want. I think that's where they're gonna go. Yeah, let's wait for, the government will put something in place to use them shortly. Just give them time. I believe places like community centers and things like those will probably get them. Yeah, places like community centers will get them. Right. So she came on, the cover-up was on, and she came on social media and she confessed to cleaning up the crime scene. Every single big wig at the PMP was at the scene. They helped by bed, them paint wall, them retile floor. Everything to cover up a crime. And they all stood by him, including every single blogger for the PMP stood by. Last year, the year before, they were telling us how Jordan Silveira was innocent and a politics we are playing. You know, do nothing wrong. When Mark Golding did cuss the bad word on stage morning, then he come and say, AI and we wicked. Mark Golding 2 hours later go and apologize, say, sorry, my mouth slip. Them say we wicked because we are tell lie on dry land. User, where's the misinformation, my friend? Just tell me where's the misinformation. Then say we are tell lie on dry land. No, the man confess. And as gone to his confession, his wife and him was having an argument the night. And he snapped. Because remember, we also told you that his son was killed in that same house a few years before. Drowned in the pool while him did the woman saw the helper. Well, that's our assessment. We believe that the little boy John while he go home and sort out the helper. Lonely boy, send me a request and make me talk about your confusion. Send me a request. Right? So all along, the same people them know, we did that curse we are tell you how we are tell lie on Jail and Silveira. The man has now confessed. The man has pleaded guilty. And I am sure when we go around now, not one of them, every one of them know I go say we didn't know a long time. We never did that say nothing. Every single one of the PMP bloggers well did a curse we how we have to lie and a politics. All of a sudden, all of them was genius and then didn't know from the get-go. But what I want, and I know a lot of my fellow bloggers have an issue with the plea deal. Now, I believe we should have hang him up on a girl out of Spanish Town. That's what me believe, you know. If we hang him up on a girl, not say broke him neck, you know. hang him up on the girl and beat him with the cat and knife every day for the rest of his life. Every single day for the rest of his life, we're supposed to tie him up and beat him. Now, lots of my fellow bloggers, my very liberal bloggers, have an issue with the plea deal. Now, I personally don't have one. Because we have had instances where people, Pungos, yes. We have instances where people go to court, and reasonable doubt, and that is all the defense had to do, reasonable doubt. And there is enough tampering at the scene to get that. So if we now could get him before trial to plead, I think it is a good thing. Why not start with Parliament to set laws that prevent the situation from... What law the Parliament could have set, Government, what law the Parliament could have set to stop Giles and Silvera from putting in gun up him wife private and pull the trigger 3 times? Tell me which law the Parliament could have to stop the situation from happening, Government. And Government, me tell you now, because Government, you're living at the great United States. United States is the country that is famous for plea bargaining. So nobody come with the bullshit. Yeah, no come with the bullshit, Government. Right? So, as I say, I believe taking the chance to go to court, anything could happen during a trial and the man walk free. Now, the deal was worked out, and I do believe, the people, that the deal was made. The deal was made to save members of the PMP whose name would have came out in chat. Like the person that pronounced him the lady dead, wigs that were there. All I believe said the deal was made to protect their name. Maybe the party come together and said, boy, brother Giles, I forgot to take one for the team, you know. And you will come to try help and you can't sink way. So the decision was made, please guilty and go rub your time. Right? Because the doctor were pronounced dead would have to be named. And that was a PNP bigwig. The person were buy one bed, not open course. One man buy one new bed, one new mattress.
No, well, him call one PMP man have a mattress company, a bedding company.
If deliver one new mattress.
I think him refused. I think he never go somewhere else to buy. I think the man refused it. But he did get a new mattress eventually.
Get new mattress. Them what them do? Them tile out, retile it, paint the wall.
And the kids room them too in the kids room.
So all these
I throw off to make it look like a general remodeling.
General remodeling, okay. So all these were part of tampering with the scene, and any of them act there could help to create the reasonable doubt that they need. Right?
Chuck, me not cut your Chuck.
No man, go ahead.
You see, from the other day, even before the DPP office accept the plea deal, and before Justice Sykes accept the guilty plea.
Yeah.
Right? I'm saying that, listen, me don't love to see him get life. 100.
I love that.
However, we have to work within the confines of what we get and the system. And I'm saying we don't have enough information about the case. We don't have the case file. We're not seeing enough, right? So anyway, I say is speculation. No, again, me I say the same thing. We don't love to seeing it 100 here. But we have to work with what I say. If the prosecution they have a slam dunk case for the analyzing, they would not accept this deal. They wouldn't.
And it goes the other way to also the punk. And if this shows them could have get off, they wouldn't make the deal. So it's a toss up. It's a toss up.
So they meet in the middle. And me I say, look here, for the firearm alone is a minimum, mandatory minimum of 15 years.
15 years, yes.
All right. And the people say, we never get the ideal unaliving charge over, right? But based on how politics and politicians normally run Jamaica, this is a big win, because if I did one-time truck, it wouldn't even reach so far.
Right.
It wouldn't even reach so far. I say, don't talk with the 15 years is not a lot. Any type of confinement is a lot, right? Now, we have to be careful how we say the system corrupt and the system is the same system put on Maitland, you know? Right? And the same system put on Maitland. And this man will serve time in prison. But if they could push it to trial, yes, things will have come out. You understand me? But however, there's also a reasonable doubt that he could have walked to. Corruption we are talking about, you know. Corruption we are talking about. And the same system we are talking about corrupt, and the same people were corrupt, right? Could I get paid after?
Exactly. Can remember the last big trial we had was simple thing. Somebody attempt to pay off the jury and out the man free. Simple technicality. In fact, what we know now, Punkos, is that the bribery of a jury never have to be successful.
No.
Try to create a technicality.
Exactly.
Right? And we know this man and his family, them have money, in organization have money, them have reach. Omalo, is that about in control of the system, you know? It's about the system not lock up in our box, you know. The system open up and walk up and down in Jamaica every day. The system open up and walk up and down in Jamaica every day. Right? So the possibilities there that something could happen that would create that reason without any walk free. Now, as Uncle said, for the gun alone is 15 years, he must started right there. So he cannot get below that.
Exactly.
Yes, Omalo, the DPP did operate within the law in making that deal. Well within the law, well within all right.
Well within the law. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. But one of the thing is that a trial of this magnitude is an expensive undertaking. You know, cheap. Believe me, people, you know, cheap. Right? And this trial, how long cartel trial take how long?
1 year or something.
1 year or something.
And
that's the longest trial in the history of Jamaica. And that is why they could not do it again. Now, my people, let us see now. Let us see. It is over to justice side. When it's a March 6.
March 6. Yeah.
On March 6, we will see the sentencing. Okay? Now, good evening. Good morning, Sheikah.
Punkos, big up yourself. You know,
bless up, Sheikah.
What's in the back of my head, right? We are Punkos up on the same line because we've been asking him, how can we prove without a reasonable doubt that this man unalive his wife?
No, 15 years is not max. Well, on Sheikah, it's not max Skyfall. 15 years is the gun charge alone. So the gun charge alone carry a minimum of 15 years.
Yeah, mandatory minimum.
Mandatory minimum of 15 years. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've been asking the same question. How do we prove that he did it? Yes, his gun is involved, but how many know say him do it? And I kept saying to everybody, Skyfall was there as well, I think, when I went on Munchie Live. And I kept asking, right, where are the witnesses? We can say, okay, Mark was there, but Mark spoke after the fact. Little bit of blood was there, she spoke after the fact, right? How do we know, Chuck, that this is the person who committed the crime? He can take the fall, just like what them say, what the guy named, the guy was just found guilty for murder. Maitland. Them say Maitland take the charge, right?
Baby mother.
That's how the speculation, right? There's another thing, Chuck, that I've been saying to everybody, not because you think it is so.
Exactly.
A lot of time we have a lot of made up, and the law is so sensitive that a lot of things, Chuck, will not even make it to courthouse. Will not even make it to courthouse, Chuck.
Thank you, Lashita. Thank you.
Another thing that I want to say, and I think this is my final. I remember one day we were interviewing the FinSat gentleman that lost his house truck.
Oh yes.
And he said the judge was instructing the defense, telling the defense, telling the prosecutor what to do. You remember the argument there?
Yes, I remember. Yes, I remember that argument.
And that stuck in my head. Knowing them people, I can remember. So we always, I said, them have them links in the court, and that's why they want to go to CCJ, right? Remember them always. So that kind of stuck in my head. I mean, I say Sykes corrupt or nothing like that, but I'm just saying.
Shika, I remember during the Klansman trial. I don't remember if you, Punkos, you were probably paying attention. I remember during the trial, and I believe that Justice Sykes was advising the defense.
Yes.
He was ripping the prosecution case apart for the defense. I believe that's how he acted. Now, me not go say him corrupt. Me not go say him corrupt, But I believe some of the time his actions is found wanting.
Right.
And again, going into a capital murder case, anything, things where we don't even know about can create that reasonable doubt.
Right. But when I read the document, the same thing what me say, they cannot, it's like them say, yo, we are able to prove otherwise. It would have been so basically so hard for us to prove that I him do it. And
no wrong.
Good morning, chaps.
Morning, man. No come on the wrong side of history.
Let me hear whose side of history you're on.
Wrong. The prosecution, let me tell you something. When you go to trial for murder, you must be found guilty without a shadow.
Beyond a reasonable doubt.
Not reasonable, shadow of a doubt. Shadow. That means nothing doubt. That means if 12 jury or 9 juror come and 8 say guilty and 1 say not guilty, you're going home.
You're gone.
Home.
Yes, one.
But at the same side, but Chopper, why are you on the same
You're
side?
free.
Guilty create a shadow.
Hold on.
Chopper,
You're free.
That's what you're saying, Chops.
We're just reasoning out some. You catch us at the wrong time. You catch us at the wrong time.
Okay. So we come in for the answer of the conversation.
Yeah, that's why we accept, we believe, we understand what the reason for the plea deal.
Okay. I thought you were disagreeing with.
No, Chopper. Chopper.
Okay. No. Can I wonder we want to lose in a bread?
No. We were just fishing out another end of it, but we agree with the plea deal.
We were just saying the same thing that you are alluding to now, reasonable doubt and all of that. We were just saying these things can come into play. So, those are.
So you get a plea like that, you take it. Because you already have 15 to 20 on the gun. And you can get a minimum of 7 on the manslaughter. So you at least have a good 20, over 20 years.
Live.
Because you have to understand the level of reason, the level of reason. You see this thing, I don't waste my time reasoning with some people on it, because after me make a point.
Politics out
I will take politics out and everything I reason with politics, man.
Because Chopper, I am saying, and all of it on the platform, we can talk, say, would I love to see him get 50 years or 100 years? You understand me? That is not on the table, based on the circumstances surrounding the case, right? And if you push it, if you got a trial and flesh out and who did that and who help him, say, look here.
Miss Justice, no, he can't appeal because he can't appeal.
No, he can't appeal.
He can't appeal.
I am saying, make we deal with the reality. These lawyers on the prosecution side are not stupid. They're experienced, competent lawyers. You understand me? Right? If they had a slam dunk case in them hand to push for the trial, why would they take this? You
But
understand?
not
If
only
all
that,
the
think
ducks in
about
a
the
row.
age. Think about the age of the gentleman. How old is he? He's 50 enough now. 50,
Late
57,
59,
58.
57, yeah.
Thereabout. If he gets another 22, 25 years in prison, he's coming out at 80 odd years old.
80
If
years old.
he make it out.
Sanjo says 52.
Yeah, okay. So if he gets 22 years, which I think that's the minimum he can get, is 22.
Yeah.
He might end up with 27 or 25. But let's say him get 22 years, right? That is going to bring him up to what? 70 what? 4?
But then
I'm not going to live this.
I'm sorry working a chopper. I have to look on the remission, you know, it's a first offender. 8 months a year.
Yeah, it might end up with less time.
The
But at
25
the end of the
years
day,
might actually be about 15 years.
you could be right. You could be right on that. Well, you're right on that. So you have to take that into consideration.
Experience, me know that.
I'm putting it at 15. That's where I'm putting it.
Yeah, that makes
Let's
sense.
me put it to Lashika.
A 15 will put it to.
And in the 2 years already too, that's time served as well. That has to be counted. So you know, hey, look. This
Politics
contributes to
and
the speedy movement of the justice system. If we can have a case of this magnitude and within 2 years or little, all right, what about 2 years? It goes to trial and come to conclusion.
Can I chime in here though? I think it wasn't so speedy as we are believing, you know, because what really happened. This case was delayed deliberately for safe PNP that win the election. That is how the politics coming out.
You know, for easy to. No, for two of them, I believe that, you know. I was
So who delayed?
That is how the politics coming out.
Yeah,
No, but who delayed? The prosecution?
Whether or not you like it or you believe it or not,
Yeah,
the judicial system is controlled by PNP.
that's what
Bro,
CCJ.
look,
Yeah.
both TNT, look here.
No, whether you agree or not. that is
No,
my
I mean, I
opinion.
agree. I'm just making a point.
Yeah.
That is grounded in facts.
Right.
I'm not giving you my opinion, no, I'm giving you something now that is grounded in facts. It is a fact that over the last minimum 10 years, 2 of the major criminal networks in Jamaica, one is currently on trial and one has been sentenced, are affiliated with the PNP.
Most definitely.
So,
To the government are forced.
I don't know if I want to track this thing down to politics. Yes, we can have all the opinions we want on Justice Sykes and all of this good stuff. But the fact of the matter is, the judicial system overall has improved significantly, and criminals are being sent home. If they meet them judge, they are getting the sentence them deserve. And if they meet them maker, they get the funeral they deserve. So I don't know how else to put it, sir.
By the way, forgive me.
Jamaica.
Special good morning to you, Lashika.
Morning, Lashika. Morning, General. Morning, everybody.
Morning. Good morning.
Focus, big up yourself, and the Jenna. Big up yourself.
Big up on yourself.
Based on the technicalities of the moving of the body and the moving of the evidence, make quite understand why he's not being tried for murder. I might escape through a loophole.
I want to ask a question, you see? And it came to me earlier this morning. How do we know that where she was found, it's that room that she was unalived in?
Yes, well, that is what I was just explaining.
Shika, based on the tampering, a whole heap of doubts. Yeah.
Because what I'm thinking, you know, I thought about it long and hard, right? I mean, I said to myself, say, what if while moving her from a particular place where she was unalived to carry her in that space, we find the whole heap of the blood and this and that? You know?
That's why they dig up every tile and everything.
No, but may I say, what if we're speculating that it's in there she was unalived? You understand what I say, Father?
Yeah.
Because remember saying, when a person is shot or whatever, them lose all the blood. You can't get one little cut on your finger just a bleed or your foot, right? Just imagine being shot 3 times. So me shot her downstairs. And me I move her upstairs, right? And by the time I reach the room, put her down, set her up, clean her up, the blood coming there so and whatever. So me I say, how do we know that are there so? Because the prosecutor is not even clear on that, based on everything that me I see. They're not clear as to where she was annihilated.
Here we are, Lashika, but you know, one of the problem that I personally have is with the judge and his deliberation, or let me say with the prosecution overall, judge and the prosecutor put together. No, this man was not, neither he nor his household helper was charged for the drowning of the 1-year-old, which to me was negligence. Because you can't have 2 adults in a home and a 1-year-old child was left wandering off to the pool. That is gross negligence. Somebody should have go to jail for that. All right, cool. That it does sweep under the carpet. But no, you're now admitting that it was because of the provocation from your wife, keep on provoking about the death of the child while you unalived her. To me,
Rusty, it hard to swallow. Let me tell you something. We have grown up.
Deserve 5,000 years.
Look here, we're treating this like athletes.
Myself should I carry you or sentence you with them bury Melchizedek?
Yeah, but the thing is, you know, bro, the man said he was provoked. There was no eyewitness to say, I saw you.
Okay, but by your own evidence, you say you were provoked and you admitted the reason.
Yes.
What the provocation was.
And in the law, it says if you are provoked, you could plead manslaughter.
Yes.
You could unintentionally unalive somebody if you are provoked.
Yes,
that is what they are saying.
I have been in that situation. Never mean to do it, but it happened.
Uncle, hold on.
Remember, that was a different scenario.
Remember what I said earlier, Chuck, and that the law is very sensitive.
But we never did.
You never trouble him.
Who never trouble who?
The lady never trouble him.
Melissa never trouble him. That's why I said Rusty. Oh, you know that? Rusty.
We never did.
Oh, you know that?
We never did in the bedroom, Rusty.
Rusty, how you know that? The man said he was provoked. The only person who can say I did not provoke. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Provoke is provoke. The man said he was provoked. The person who could deny that he was provoked is not here with us anymore.
So is this a new precedence? Is this a new precedence for us to kill our wives?
It is not new. It has been there for decades.
So you can kill my wife tonight.
I
will pretend you never said that.
Well, let me just pretend I never hear. I wasn't here.
Rusty, bear in mind that you see what you just said a while ago.
If that, God forbid,
you got prison.
And not only that, no, not enough to depend on the recording, because I'll be the first in court. It is not manslaughter. It was premeditated. He thought about it.
Chopper. I go have a couple green guava for you when I book you.
I story with them.
Yeah, man. My God, what Jamaica we live in, brother.
You cannot people.
Politics and
sport, and at this, I try to tell people, oh, what up on Blacking Lab, and them things that I pick up for jail, and I say, listen, me happy say him get sentenced. Me happy he must go to prison, right?
You might get
satisfied with. Am I satisfied with the number with the charge of manslaughter? No. You understand me? But me have to work it what is available to us. Because if we do push it and go trial, it could end up bad in our favor. They must say them rather push it go trial, right? And lose. Me say, how that makes sense?
Them are idiot, them dumb. You see, all right, let me tell you something. I was having a discussion on Munchie's live the other day. And I was trying to explain to them. And them have me out, they say me Melissa Sylvia a sympathizer. After me I tell them said, no, the prosecution is correct in going with the plea because you can't prove without a shadow of a doubt if you go to trial. Plus you waste more time. You know, them don't believe in this and them. Oh.
Our opinion, chaps, and most people believe that our opinion in facts. Our opinion is not facts. Our opinion is just our opinion.
That's why me not ridicule, but me try my best at most not to posit my opinion. Me like go read and find what is in writing, what is there, and grow on my presentation.
Me say, if I didn't my daughter or my mother, if me da accept the 15 years, me say yes.
Do you know must accept it? Yeah, I run the risk of him not getting nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, but guys, listen, there's an unsung hero in this thing, yeah. And when it just started, I believe he was painted as a villain, corrupt, and criminal, and nobody never knew says for him, look at suspicion alone. We make with there so today.
Oh, the police.
That policeman.
Yeah.
That policeman don't look and say, no, sir. Me have too much blood there, so for them I tell me, sir. Let me take one little picture and go take her, you know. Remember that policeman was painted as corrupt and sign up on this and sign up on that.
Yeah.
And now we know say it was because of that one picture when take and say, tell me what you think of this. This look like somebody who died at this thing.
The police have left in job.
That man, murder one, murder two, or manslaughter. Right, manslaughter is basically telling us that accident. We never intend.
Accidental, yeah.
But we all know say
how is that an accident? Accident of fire one time.
Because it wasn't premeditated and he never act with the intent to unalive. Him just pulling firearm and fire shot in her direction.
Was cleaned up, but there was enough there when the police was there.
Oh, come
on. It is in her lower abdomen. In her lower abdomen and her thigh. So it is possible that her vagina could have been a part of the ruptured area. So look, folks, Uno must I'm not say Uno because I think you guys are on the same page. But the general viewers must give some credit to the justice system overall and the DPP. Our prosecutors are doing an excellent job. If we were to look at where they are coming from, the failure rate.
We want too much to go with it. Right.
No, not to say want too much. But I think you have gotten a good deal. Yes. It's like going to the Olympics. A small country like Jamaica, 144 square mile, and you get a silver against all the big countries, and you're sad, you complain, you don't celebrate because you want a goal.
All right, cool.
Yeah. It was a and as I said, chaps, if we were to look
discount, we should be thankful.
If we were to assess our justice system over the last 10 years, the Tasha Miller behind bars, Black man behind bars, right? And most.
Remember the one.
Let me ask you this question, guys. And I'm not saying because some of the players
so in other words,
crawl
50% discount and that's it.
If you don't forget 50% discount, you can get less than that. It depends on how the judge view it. But again,
left up to the judge.
It left up to the judge. But I was saying to you that I'm not saying this with any direct shot at anybody because some of the players who were a part of the DPP's office during the time of the crawl incident. I don't know if everybody remember the crawl incident in Clarendon.
Yes.
It was today, if Renita Adams and the CMU team who conducted the the analyzing of first, the crawl.
Extrajudicial
The massacre, the crawl massacre.
If it was today, if it was in today's justice system with today's DPP and a stronger DPP with more resources, they're not overworked, they're not, you know, burnt out and don't have the time to really go deep and the resources and the technical support and the finances and if it was today, perhaps those persons who were charged in the crawl incident would have been gone to prison. But I will also say, if it was today, you probably have if it was today, you probably would not have a crawl incident because the police would have acted in a more responsible and professional way. So by any stretch, when you measure where we are today, the improvement has minimized the risk of us having certain kind of things to deal with. So credit must be given to the police. Fitz Bailey, if you go back and listen to his interview, spot on. And if you listen to the DPP's office, they came out and give an account to the public as they have always been. Paula Llewellyn set that precedent to be transparent to the public. We have to give credit. We must have confidence in our jurisprudence. We can say all we want about justice sites because a lot of people will come and say, oh, justice sites is a PNP or this or that. None of us have any evidence to substantiate that.
But
None
Chaps,
of us.
let me answer this, Chaps. If it was today, we were trying that famous entertainer where we have the ability to make a deal. Do you think it would have gone different?
You're talking about the Vibes Cartel trial?
Yes.
Well, you know, there are some similarities here because what a lot of people are saying, if the DPP was able to find Vibes Cartel guilty without even the presence of a body or a gun, sorry, or what you call it, why couldn't they have gone to trial and find Silvera guilty? But again, it is too as both of them are circumstantial, you know. But the fact that there was no witness, who them all call? There was nobody there to say the man said me, I was provoked, you know, because even if you go to trial, you know, it got chalk up because the defense already said to the judge in their discussions to get to this point that look, yeah, you can go to trial if you want, but no matter what evidence you bring, I am going to say that my client was provoked. Try go around that. And the DPP can't go around it because there was nobody there. There's no eyewitness to say, I saw you and you were not provoked. And the person who could rubbish that position, unfortunately, the person who could rubbish that position of provocation, unfortunately, is not here with us. So the prosecution is 100% correct. I was listening to Tyrone Reed a while ago, and he had a lot of questions, but he needs to understand that when it comes down to unaliving or murder, if you can prove it without a reasonable or a shadow of a doubt, as we call it in the street, you run the risk of the man walking free. And I think the prosecution erred on the side of caution.
Chaps, I've been trying to say it for the longest while, but because you guys over talking each other previously, but the word I've been saying it that our laws are so sensitive that you have to be really careful, because if you go in a court, Chaps, and say I was provoked, it is a clear sign that he didn't intend to do it, and that will be considered, that will take precedence over everything. The word provocation is very, very important in this case, and the DPP did put it in the letter. I am reading the case that they reference now.
the prosecution have no witness for counter
No
him.
witness, right?
Exactly.
I am
Exactly.
reading the case now that they reference in the letter chapter.
So can I just
One of
ask?
the things that is coming up is mental health, right? Remember that they also suffered a loss. They had, of
Exactly.
their child. So
Exactly.
I am seeing, So the case that they mentioned, let me turn this off. The case that they mentioned.
Chica, can you just kind of tell us when they lost their child, just for the purposes of the accuracy?
I think it was a year before her death.
No, man, I think it was about, it was
Few months.
20.
I don't
No,
think it's a year.
no, man, it was a couple of years. It was about 2018.
Well, me could check it. Me could not speculate. Make somebody just Google it real quick.
So in the meantime, while somebody check on that, let me just tell you, I'm reading
Chat.
through.
So that chat, please. Find out for me.
Somebody said 2017.
2017, yeah.
Right, but so I'm reading through the case that they reference in the letter, and the case is about the man unaliving his wife using a 2x4 to slap her in her head 3 times, right? Because she took off her clothes in front of the kids and he objected to it. So they're saying, no, sir, this man is always smiling and pleasant. What else is the cause of this? So I reached the part where they said he does not have antisocial personality disorder, but they're saying he has a low-level psychopathic symptoms. That's where I reach. So those things have to be taken in consideration based on mental health. And mental health is a big thing, right? So I'll come back and tell you guys what else is going on, but I just wanted to say that.
So based on,
my wife provoked me again.
well, that would be premeditated, uncle.
From
So my question is this: what of the evidence? Was there any of the evidence that was preserved throughout this entire debacle?
There's the only evidence you have is that his gun was used, his gun was tampered with, but the scene was cleaned up. So as we said, there is enough room there to create the reasonable doubt that is needed. Right.
And how would you present that in court, uncle, if you were attempting to create that kind of reasonable doubt? Because then I would dare to argue then it would need to most likely have the presence of a second person by way of a potential shooter. If you know what I mean.
You don't need to pretend. You don't need to present a potential shooter. Remember, when you're in court, your defense that you're presenting doesn't have to be rooted in any facts. It just have to be a defense.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
then my question.
I can tell you, Judge, I was going to bed. I was walking to put my firearm in the safe and I tripped and fell. And me and I alone in the room. There's nobody to dispute that.
And like I said, I'm not completely against the argument that you and Chops and everyone else has put forward, because it has validity. But I still believe that I still think there is a case could have been made on one. I genuinely believe that.
Yeah, it could have. We are not saying no, a case could have been made on one.
Especially,
but the case could have also been lost.
I may not think so if you make a good case. Let me explain what Mr. Sonko. All right. So in this regard, I think with proper investigation, you can find a mistress somewhere. You can find somebody to testify, say, yes, him did tell me, say, I'm going to get rid of her, because we did supposed to run off together. If you follow what I say.
Yeah.
There are so many variables.
I think you want so much law and order.
No, man. A whole heap of variables. I just genuinely believe, I think a case could have been made to put him away so he leaves jail in a pine box. And I don't think it's a hard case to make. I just don't feel so. Under so based on his, based on his actions after the fact, you know them way there, cleaning up the scene as opposed to to being catatonic and calling for medical assistance, or you know, it was definitely a crime of passion in the heat of the moment, but his actions after the fact denote very, I was angry, but immediately after it happened, I came to my senses. It does lend itself to being very premeditated. If you
You
know
ever
me,
hear
I
the
say.
saying? You ever hear the saying, "A bird in the hand is better than a bird in the bush"? You ever heard that one?
And that's why I'm tell you, say I don't disagree
Warrior,
with you,
let me
but I
ask
still
you.
feel like the case could be made with proper
Warrior, let me
investigation.
ask you though. Let me ask you this question. How do you know he cleaned up the scene? That it was him
Me I
who
go,
did it.
well I know me I go on what Uno say. What me hear Uno say. You understand?
Right.
Me I go
You
off
know
on
the term.
hold on, let me explain, Shika. I'm going off because I trust the word of you where I follow the case, and I know you guys to be credible. And that was what I, you know, heard based on what the discussions were about. That the scene was tampered with after the act was committed. Now it's his home. So it stands to reason that even if he didn't, even if him never ordered it to be done, if them a clean up one crime scene where him commit in him own house, you don't know about it. Essentially. So he's either an accessory to tampering or guilty of tampering with the evidence.
You know, one of the hardest things to prove in a murder case, Warrior, is one thing where them call what the legal term again? Mens rea,
as in the thought of committing the act.
Exactly. Right. Now, unless you have one little robot where you can put in the brain and them have a research and find out, see this part, yeah, it's difficult to prove.
Uncle, if them have some eyewitness cases, them used to beat her. Just follow me. I say, you know, just say. I think, and I'm just thinking about it within the Jamaican context. And we know say everything that has cut and dry. And we know say there's an old boys club. And we know say people close. And we know say deals can be made, sweetheart deals, if you will. But I'm just saying, unless them fact check him and him completely clean, him never slap her around yet, him never burn her yet, them can't go to nobody for try to build a case against him, then I'm like, all right, then cool.
But let me ask you this, Warrior. In the Maitland case, let me travel down a road with her. Do you think now when Maitland had a mistress?
Wasn't the young lady in question his mistress?
No.
The one that lost her life?
The one that lost her life was the woman.
No, I'm side chick that.
I'm side chick. All right, fine. Well, what happened to the woman? You hear anything about her in the trial?
Arijam, I'm well aware of the law. Please, whoever in the comments are correct.
No.
Stop.
Do you hear anything about the main woman in the trial?
Well, she's a police officer, so I don't know how her part of the situation went. But as she am woman, like him rightful woman. And apparently the young lady, God rest her soul, was his mistress and she was pregnant, and I guess that caused some complications, and you know, he decided that she had to go.
So there you go. So even if you have one side woman out there, how do you find that side woman?
I think, but it was being alleged that even the police side chick, I'm sorry, him straight up police girlfriend was present at the apartment on the night in question, you know, when the young lady went missing.
Alleged. You have to prove whatever evidence you bring to court.
Travis,
you can't bring alleged arguments.
With respect, I'm saying it's being said. I never said she was there. I said it was being said that she was there.
But you're presenting that as an alternate reason. You can't present an alternate reason without nothing to back it.
Chuck asked me a question specifically, and I was responding to that question. As in, it is being alleged. So I guess it would be incumbent on them to find out if she was there, run the tapes, or whatever needs to be done. My thoughts.
And you don't believe they would have done that? You don't believe they would have run the tapes and tried to figure out if that is so?
But you see, this is not my argument. Chuck is asking me questions and I'm responding, so you'd have to ask Chuck that. Because I didn't
All right.
introduce this part of the conversation.
Okay. All right. Let me go back to the Silvera case. I just want to say something on that and be done with it. Let me first state my opinion. At first, I think they should have rejected the plea. But after thinking about it some more, I say, you know what? Take the plea, see when you can get out of the deal. And see what kind of deal you can strike otherwise. They took the deal. There's been a press release that I've looked over, and I understand that what they have done is basically their only move. I would even say their best move. At this point, it's their only move. Why do I say that? So, yes, you have the body. Yes, you have the gun. You have previous statements and the conversations from his cell phone, plus the children's testimony stating that they had an argument on the night in question, right? So I said it before and I'll say it again. His defense are great lawyers. They understand the game and they played a blinder. What they have done is taken the prosecution, all of their evidence on board and say, all right, yes, I have killed her. I did, unalive her. But I was provoked and it was not intentional. That they took all of their evidence that they have. They took it onto themselves and admitted to it in a way that this prosecution cannot prove otherwise.
Travis.
Because me hear a lot of people say, oh, then if we go prove murder. It's not just proving murder now. You have to prove other than what he has admitted to. They have now gotten this new burden of proving that he did not, that he killed her willfully and in cold blood without any witness, without any evidence. Them not have no witness and them not have no evidence to go against that part of argument, And I think we need to not be so emotional about this thing because most of our responses are emotional. And two things we must take into account. They cited precedents twice where a similar case like this has gone in the direction that they want to go. So now the prosecution have to go cite precedents where it have gone in the opposite direction and they must have the evidence to back it.
Let's not forget also that the last time this case was mentioned before the deal was made, his defense team made a request that they had an independent person assess the forensic evidence. Now, upon that assessment, and they would have been given their report, it was the legal play that presented itself. And you're right. Mr. Champagne, who he retains, is a very, very good lawyer. And if Mr. Champagne said this is the way to go, then it is the way to go. Now, again, we have to take the emotions out of it and say, listen to me, the justice system works. We may not happy with how it works, but it works. And that is simply true.
You know what is key to Chuck? The justice system has rules. And that a whole prosecution now, in spite of the speculation I want to think and all of this, you have to now prove that his self-incrimination is not the truth. How we are going to prove without no witness? Because the only other witness now, is the woman to say, hey, me never accuse you.
Me never do not.
Me never provoke you.
I'm glad you wake up on the right side this morning, Dan.
Come on, people. Stop being emotional about it.
Thank you.
Yes, nephew. And see that my nephew agree with me.
I'm going to read something for you guys in terms of the case that was referenced, right? In the
Hold on the speaker. You want me to come out and say something first a long time in there. Wait.
And not long, man. Omala will probably comment on it too. It says from the statement under caution, it emerged that the appellant had been smoking marijuana and a couple hours before Miss Baker was unalived. He went on to say that immediately before inflicting the fatal injuries to Miss Baker, me get torment, hot and frustrated. Me no know what coming at me. Me get up and go out a door and see the piece of 2x4 plank where we did the near the fireside, take it up and walk back inside the house and use it and carrying about 2 or 3 times in her head while she was lying down in the bed watching the television, and come back outside with the piece of 2x4 and throw it on the fire that me was burning earlier. Of the question and answered, the following are relevant. Question 13, why did you feel hot and torment? Answer, me no know, maybe because me smoke the weed, me just feel hot and torment. Why did you hit her with the piece of wood in her head? I don't know. Why did you hit her so many times? Did you intend to kill her? No. Why did you kill her? I don't know. I never meant to kill her. So we can continue.
Marlo.
Yeah. My observation of all of this, I always look for solution, how to make things better, how to correct what we see, really, if there is any correction that can be made. I understand that that the prosecutor had a great case, but just having a great case doesn't guarantee a win. And the prosecutor is there really to get some justice for the family. It is up to the judge now, because the sentencing is where everybody basically, I think if manslaughter was something where he would get 40 years, right?
Marlo, not hearing
Marlo, you chip out.
It have a range though, Amal. It have a range.
But would be
Marlo, we lose you for a minute.
Yeah, hear me?
Yeah, you're back.
Hello?
Yeah, man, you're back.
Yeah, I'm saying if the sentence for manslaughter was like 40 years, nobody would be talking about he pleading down to manslaughter. Yeah? So I guess the sentence is really what people are really don't like, the sentencing. What I think we can do, because the prosecutor and the lawyers, he had great lawyers and we had great prosecutors, and really and truly each one is trying to get some leverage for who they are representing. Yeah, and the deal was made and the prosecutor won, and Jamaica is looking really good. The justice system in Jamaica, just like the police is turning, the justice system is turning, and we must celebrate and talk about the justice system in this way, rather than here speculating. And if we must think, we must understand who is in power and who is the minister of justice, who bring laws to the parliament to make the justice system run the way it will. So we must be very careful of our criticism, because these people have to operate within the law. And if they don't operate within the law, and if the law give them any room to do whatever, say, corruption or these things, then you're going to find, say, well, they are human, let's correct it in parliament. Yeah? But really and truly, I think we should be asking, putting it out there, let the politicians hear, that we are not going to accept manslaughter for things like these. You should be even at least at murder too, yeah? At a lower level. And manslaughter must represent people driving, accidentally doing stuff, rather than people knowing that their action will cost the life of somebody, because you firing shot into somebody, you know that can cost the life of somebody. That should be a murder. I agree with you on that, brother. So this is where we should be asking. Yeah? This is where we should be at as people that support the party in power, pushing Delroy Chuck to bring something to Parliament that this case, a case like this, will never end up again into manslaughter. That is just my 2 cents.
Why? We have one simple view about the whole thing, you see? I worry if our wife provoke her all the while. We just walk, we go somewhere, go have a drink or have a place on Domino. Though. I worry if our wife provoke her all the while. I'll go through some serious torment sometime. I just walk away. Find myself all at town for days.
I know them never torment.
I can't tell you, say. I don't know 10 somebody way dark like me. Yeah? But I walk away, brother.
Yeah, man.
Now, go ahead, let me come out here.
So again, to background, Mrs. Fernanda Richards. Let me just read this and then you jump in darker shades. So I guess this is the contention that everybody is having, and this is what we have been saying. Some of us have been saying from day one. He says, against this background, Mrs. Fernanda Richards sought permission to argue two supplemental grounds of appeal. The complaint in the first is that the appellant conviction pursuant to the plea of guilty was insufficiently supported by full and balanced presentation of facts upon he was arraigned and the unavailability of information which grounded an alternative verdict precluded to the learned trial judge from making the appropriate assessment as to whether the court ought to have accepted the plea as given. So this gentleman that I was talking about, he pleaded guilty to murder. So now they are making an appeal that enough is not there for the trial judge to make the appropriate assessment or to even sentence him then or fine him or accept the plea because enough of the details is not there. And the next part is saying, in the second ground, the appellant complains that the minimum period stipulated by the learned trial judge before he will become eligible for parole is manifestly excessive in all the circumstances of the case. Having regard to the appellant's age and his previous unblemished criminal record. In this regard, the appellant also complained of the judge's failure to request a psychiatric evaluation report. So you see, all that we have been arguing here, one, it might be too excessive before he's eligible for parole based on murder. And the next one is it is the insufficient details to prove that this was murder, even though he pled guilty. This is one of the cases that the DPP the office used to guide them. So I'm kind of reading it and I just kind of sharing stuff with you that I think is important in our discussion.
And we need, sorry, go ahead, Dr. Shade, you don't answer something.
Yeah, man, afternoon to the panel.
I think the first guy gave an ear start.
Yeah, well, I've been around, but I've been just listening, you know. Right, sometimes you have to listen, you know, have to say nothing, my boss. Big up yourself, you don't know. I have listened to what Lashika mentioned a while ago as a case put forward before the court and how the accused would have presented his case as it relates to him being guilty of what he did. Now, what we must understand as a people, sometimes we speak based on how we feel. Our emotions take control of our thought process at times, and based on how we bring out things, the emotions, you know, show up itself. We have to understand that the court system has a process. And as Lashika would have stated before, Omalo spoke, the gentleman who was the accused in the case, how he presented himself based on his guilt, the thing that he did that he was guilty of, and how he presented his case as it relates to why he did what he did. You understand? In dealing with this case that we're speaking of now, it's a similar process. You're going to speak, the prosecutor is going to review the evidence and the defense attorneys will review the evidence that should be presented before the court. This is before the court proceeds come into play. Now, when you find that an accused person can actually state that he's guilty of something that he's being accused of, it puts him in a position where he now will have to answer to the case before him. What that case shall be will depend on the severity of what he did. You understand? So you have different what we call it, different accusations that take place as it relates to.
Yes, I just get 2 restrictions from TikTok in the last 10 minutes.
Okay. Right. Then the different matters would come before you. Now, in such case, I believe what happened is that he presented himself as to what was done. I think he would have explained what took place on his part. As a result, it put them in a position where they had to bring it to the fold to see what he would be charged for or what he would plead guilty on. And majority of the time, as we know it, murder cases have to be tried. Majority of the times, murder cases, nobody wants to go into court and plead guilty to a murder. You're looking at life imprisonment. You understand? As a result, a defense attorney will not tell the person who is defending to plead guilty to murder. I don't know if you see that situation happening. So maybe what happened based on these things that have come before the fold is that they decided that they would take a plea of manslaughter, being the fact that he did what he did. He actually is guilty of something, and as a result, that is what happened. You understand? Otherwise, it would have to be put before the court and proven.
It's okay, the camera.
That's how I see it. You understand? So what Lashika brought forward was a man saying that he's guilty, but on the basis of being guilty, he might tell us him don't know why him do. That put you in a situation now where you have to review the entire case to see what he should be actually be found guilty of.
I want to read the next one, darker shades, and you can come in.
Before you do that, Lashik, I want to add something. I wanted to add something. People think that this is a gross miscarriage of justice, but this is actually the justice system working smartly. And the DPP's office was very smart from the onset. And why I say this, people must take note of the three charges that were laid in the initial stages. Because remember, the police investigate, liaise with the DPP's office, and the DPP office said, listen, these are the 3 charges. Bam, bam, bam. Murder, manslaughter, and felony by the use of the weapon.
Don't use the M word. Maybe that's
my bad.
Strike. And guys, we have to send at least 2 little rolls and stuff.
Yeah, man, no send 2. Maybe send 2 gifts that we can't send that to Chuck. No, that can't send either. No, give a Chuck.
No, it's the second one in the last 2. You get 2 warning and no restriction.
Tap up the screen and send a little gift to Chuck.
So what I'm saying is,
that's so nice.
What I'm saying is, from the onset, the prosecution was smart because they put down these 3 charges. The M1, the major one everybody want, and then the slaughter and the weapon. Notice.
He was not charged for slaughter though, Chavi. And he was not charged for slaughter though. 2 charges we see online.
2 charges, you see where?
You can't be charged. Chavi, you can't be charged for M and manslaughter at the same time, bad bro.
That's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true.
No, guys, wait. We have a misconception. We have a misconception.
No, it's
There's
not.
a misconception that they can't. No, you can.
All right.
Check the law. Check Jamaican law.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
Just a minute. Chavi, you're right. He was charged for manslaughter.
No, he was not.
Yes.
He was
Sheiks,
not.
hold on. 3 charges the man have from the onset. 3 charges.
Please Google it. please.
He couldn't plead guilty to manslaughter
something
without
that he's not charged for.
Please
He's not charged for
Google
it.
it. Please
No, he
Google
was
it. He
charged
was
for it.
Him
not
can't plead
charged
guilty to
for it.
something him not charged for.
Lashika, just take this one from me as facts. He was
Hold on,
charged for
man.
it.
I read it and he was not charged for it. Me see it
What?
But the
online.
3 charges, Lashika?
Two me see.
Chica.
No, man.
If
I
you
No,
don't
Chica, I see the press release. Hold on.
and
Chica, I see the press release. Chica, hold on, Chica. Hear me for a
I
second.
googled it before.
I hear you. I hear what you said, Chica. But hear me for a second. I heard what you said and I take into account what you said. I'm going to ask you to go and read the press release again where his pleas are. The press release will show you when plea for all of the something. I mean, plea. First one not, second one not, third one not. At the initial stages of the trial, you know, right? When he first plea. Then when the case will get going, in change it. The first one not guilty, but the second one guilty. And then not guilty at the end again. Please go back and read it. Read the press release that was released by the DPP's office. But the point I was making originally is that...
Hold on, then let me just read this and then you can continue because I think it's important to your argument that you're saying, right? What you're saying. News and Nationwide said it was 3. When we Google it, it's a 2. Anyhow, as the argument, no, it's okay. As the argument...
When I read that, so it says initial charge. Silvera was originally charged with murder in January 2024, but entered a guilty plea to a lesser charge of manslaughter on February 22, 2026.
Because manslaughter is a lesser charge. Manslaughter is a lesser charge, sir. So you can't be charged for both of them at once.
Guys, please look at the press release as I advise you. Right? If you look at the first one, let me explain it. Guys. All right, go ahead.
Just give me 10 seconds. 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Guys,
please just go up on Google and just type it in. Can you be charged for M and manslaughter at the same time for the same incident? Just do that now, please.
You can, because the judge will be the one. The judge will be the one to tell the jury to consider if this doesn't reach the stage of a murder, then you shall consider manslaughter. The judge will do that. You can charge for it.
Omalo, as I said before, if you're on a more serious charge, right, it can be lessened to that of manslaughter. That's what we're saying. But you cannot be charged for capital murder and manslaughter both at the same time. It doesn't work that way because one is lesser. One is lesser than the other. It would be all right, put it this way. It could be a case where a man be charged for a felonious wounding, wounding with intent, or something of a serious nature as it relates to wounding. And when you go to court based on the information from the doctor, the judge would lessen it to unlawful wounding. It's a lesser offense. You understand? But you can't be charged for felonious wounding and unlawful wounding at the same time. One would have to be, and then the judge lessens it. That's what we're saying. It cannot be the same time.
The judge cannot lessen the charge. The judge don't charge people.
Yes, sir. The judge can order. The judge can instruct. Listen, the judge can instruct. This is what I'm saying to you. The judge can lessen. He can lessen the charges from his seat. Instruct that it be done. Remember that the judge is the instructor of the case. He's the one he's the conductor of the case, right? So he instructs the situations that take place as it relates to the case. So if a man is charged for felonious wounding or wounding with intent, that is near to a case of say what you call it? Oh God, man. That would be a serious case of wounding. But based on the fact that there's a doctor certificate that would be put before the court, when the judge get that, he can utilize that to state that it is actually a lesser offense. So he would instruct the court to have the man charged for a lesser offense, which would be unlawful wounding. It's a similar case with this that we're talking about. But it cannot be that
prosecuting, the police is charging, and the judge is responsible for executing the trial. The judge cannot charge no defendant nothing.
The judge makes the orders in court, sir. That's what we're saying. So it cannot be that judge. Hold on, man. Hold on,
Guys, we don't need to argue. We don't need to argue about it.
It's a simple matter.
We have the press release. We have the press release to go by, right? So we just go by that, right?
All we are saying is that both charges cannot be laid at the same time because one is lesser than the other. That's what we're saying.
But Chuck, if your platform is to send out correct information, you have to give the correct information. You can be charged for murder and manslaughter, and the judge instruct the jury. If they don't reach, I sit on jury, bro. If you don't reach in Jamaica, if you don't reach the level of murder, you can consider manslaughter.
You're confusing.
Here's the reason for that. Hold on,
Omalo.
Beg a second, please. Beg a second now, please. Omalo, to your point, one of the reasons for that is it is clear that this is the person who had committed the act. It is now a matter of proving.
Travi,
it's just a matter of.
Let's read the facts, Travi. So
go ahead.
Google is here, right? It says in Jamaica, a person is generally not convicted of both murder and manslaughter for the same act, as they are considered alternative verdict based on intent. Murder involves.
Yes. So hold on. Let you read because it proved my point, Tina. But go ahead, Sheikah.
Murder involves malice after aforethought, while manslaughter does not. However, a defendant can be indicted for murder, and the jury may return a lesser verdict of manslaughter if provocation or diminished capacity is found. Okay?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Alternative charge, while usually charged as murder, the indictment may allow for a conviction of manslaughter if the prosecution failed to prove intent. Distinction, same thing, darker shades, I say, same thing.
Lashika.
So, we can write down the wrong.
Lashika, hold on, Lashika. May I beg you to do something for me, right? Type in, can you be charged for manslaughter and murder in Jamaica? That's how much type.
You can be charged with
no, but son of Punkos, come on. Look, listen to the question you're asking.
Hold on, Dr. Shades. Let me tell him the question that I asked Google. Can a person be charged with manslaughter and murder for the same crime in Jamaica?
Same crime. No.
But you can be charged for manslaughter and murder if it's more than one act. That is the problem.
Thank you.
Specifically say you cannot. A person is generally not convicted of both murder or manslaughter for the same act.
Will let me say my Google wrong?
Possibility lies.
Punkos, if you listen to the question, you just ask.
I think Lashika, the difference is for the same act. I think that's what they're trying to say.
Hold on. What some of Punkos asked, he said, listen, can someone be charged for murder and manslaughter in Jamaica? Yes.
Besides what is happening here. That's not the question. Chavi, that's a different thing.
Chavi, just listen. Listen, Chavi. Guys, one person, one individual.
Guys.
One accused.
See that they restrict me. I don't know why they restrict me a second time. This is the fourth one I get since I start.
Restart before them take down the line.
And that me I go do. So I go end, guys, and restart it.
How the other real country them a deal with him? Where them ship they over so I do? We see them, you know. That ain't no move yet. I be things that one, brother. And nothing and then the media station. Why the media not bring real news? They need the media play with the people them too, you know. Because you know now report to you know that's your job. If you're doing media work and you say you're a news teller, cause it all starts from somebody's bedroom.
So them cut the window already.
No real news, you know now give the people make you know what's going on in the country. And stop kind of, you know. Yes, man, I be a thing I go on in our country, brother. I will not like it. Me not like it. Me not have nothing against a man for real, in a real life. But brother, me want to see better for my country. You know what I mean? Better, man. See, 400 come in, brother, we not broke no record. We not run again, you know, we not fast again. We not broke no record. A record we supposed to have broke rapid, man. Man, a tear up you see in both record in a high school, man. We not do
nothing again.
You don't come in like you not see.
Gold medal. You know, so the man even go at the World Cup qualifier. And Jamaica lose the match to all the match.
Lose the match.
The man left come salt up the match. And next month we have to go. And next month we have to go try again to see if we can qualify. So them Andrew one is come with a spell, come with a destruction from the country, brother.
And the land, sir. We deserve better Jamaicans. I just wish someone would just wake up and just put on. Sometimes we just have to get raw. We don't still not come like I say that they side they alone and don't understand. But would I really want everybody to just wake up and just say, yo, a time for we just, we don't know what we have to go do to get out the corrupt government here, man. We need the full parliamentarian. First of all, we need full parliamentarian and really start stand up for real this way.
To the street.
All that to the street.
You know, Andrew was away. If we want to away
the street and make it a world global.
Yeah.
Global sitting. Shut down the country.
My money have